Is it possible to start all over after 40? I hear you. This question talks about the hopelessness and helplessness that many of us have felt at 35, at 40, at 50, some even younger. It is what once was called midlife crisis. Now they call it quarter of life crisis. But you know, in reality, it's a moment of transformation. It's a moment when there is a disconnect between who you wanted to be and where you are right now. And who you wanted to be maybe is not even relevant anymore right now. Because maybe you even achieve it, but it feels dissonant. So at the end of this video, I will tell you the process that is absolutely indispensable for you to overcome this moment in life. How do I know that? Because of course I have gone through this process, not one, but several times. And also, I have been helping people, especially women, going through this transformation. I have been seeing them transforming from stuck, frustrated, questioning to in the flow, in their zone of genius, in their edge. So get ready, get your cup of tea, a notebook, and we are starting to see what are these 3 steps. But before we get into the 3 steps, I ask you that if you haven't, please subscribe and press the bell. And, you know, this really helps me. This really helps the channel. So, and even before I give you the first step, I need to reassure you that you're not alone. You're absolutely not alone. This happens to every single person in the planet. And the good thing about feeling this sense of being stuck, feeling helpless, feeling lost, it is important because it helps us to reassess who we are wanting to be. How do we want to be for the next 20, 30, 40 years? Who do we want that person who looks at us from the mirror? What person do we want to, what kind of person we would like to become? What kind of person would you like to become? It's really exciting to think about it, isn't it? Wow, this is who I would like to become, but I am so inadequate right now. I cannot get there. Anxiety. Let's break that. When we are in this situation of feeling stuck at 40, 50, midlife, is because we have been very good people, very good women, and we wanted to please everybody. We wanted to please our mother, our father, our society, religion, the feminists. We wanted to please everybody. We wanted to be good persons, the best version of ourselves. That's what we wanted. And we put the ladder of our life against a wall that we thought was good. And we worked and worked and worked hard, and we reached the top of that ladder to realize that, hey, what am I doing here? This happened to me when I was at the top of my career, corporate career. I was the boss. I had this beautiful car. I managed millions of euros. I had a fantastic job, really, absolutely lovely people. I work in aerospace, fantastic, going to the moon. That's fantastic for somebody else, but not for me. That's not the things that I really like doing. I respect scientists so much. It's fantastic, but it's not for my personality. I like art. I like public speaking. I like meaningful, intimate conversations. So this was not for me, but hello, I studied engineering, I studied IT. How will I make a switch all the way to become what I am today? How could I just let go of all those years, throw them to trash? That's a big decision to make. But there were other considerations. I only had a job. I wanted more. My level of ambition grew, and I also wanted true intimacy, true love. And I also wanted children. And oh my God, I was 37 years old. It was like impossible. Impossible. Children at that age without even a boyfriend. Crazy. So it was impossible for me to believe in that vision of the future while I was having this reality. So this process is impossible to start if you don't take the first step. The first step is become aware of what brought you where you are right now. Become aware of what you did, what you chose, what you said, what you didn't say, what lies you told, what brought you from childhood to where you are right now. And that implies to be brutally honest to yourself. I lied. I pleased. I disrespected myself. I disrespected my soul. You really need to look into your past. You need to look at those ugly parts of yourself that you usually don't dare to look. This is precisely what we do in my Unleash program. I help you go through your past. Because you see, we're very sneaky and we don't want to do this exercise. And sometimes you need to be helped. So I offer you this exercise because it's just really liberating. Once you're able to look at the darkness in the mirror, put light in the darkness, suddenly you find wonders, then you find gold. If you have been disrespecting yourself, so then what would it mean to respect yourself? You see, I was just going to galleries at that time. I never painted. I was disrespecting my artist, my inner artist, my creativity. So then I said, in the future, I really need to incorporate that in my life, because if I don't incorporate that in my life, I am wasting my life. So look at the past, really, and look at your past in a critical, productive way, not judgmental and not commiserating, but try to do it in the most objective way, almost like if you were a scientist trying to find what is that one thing that is going to be a gift for you. After you have looked at your past, there is something kind of alchemical that happens in your soul, that suddenly the veil lifts and you start seeing possibilities. You start seeing, what could I study? I can see my life without this relationship. I can see my life in another city. I can see my life in another industry. I can see my life in other clothes. I can see my life in another fashion. And this is the step 2. This is the step of envisioning. How would your life be if it would be your most ideal life? The way to think about it is think about your ideal day. What is your ideal day? Ideal day. Where do you wake up? With who do you wake up? What do you do? What kind of food do you eat? What kind of job do you do? What clothes you're wearing? What kind of weather is out there? As you look at this picture of the future, it starts to become very clear that there is a gap. And this is step number 3. There is a gap between where you are and where you would like to be. You would like to be a very vibrant person, but you are 20 kilos overweight. You would like to be married and have children, but you are alone at home. So, of course, some people will tell you, massive action, go for it, you can do it, 2,000 push-ups in 5 seconds, 20 dates in 1 day. No, don't do that. Life is a marathon, it's not a sprint. Life is a marathon. So go slow. Go and think that this is for the long run. And start taking the tiniest action that you could possibly take right now with the emotional and physical and financial resources you have, but start taking it. If you're overweight and you don't have the money to go and pay a gym, start drinking water instead of coffee with milk and sugar. You don't need to be a scientist. You don't need a special, advice to know that water is better than soda, that walking is better than sitting down. Start making small changes. What it really appears to you that is calling you to bridge that gap between where you want to be and where you are. And as you start taking action by action by action, you start making them habits. We have, in our household, the challenge is that we're the sandwich generation, and maybe you will find interesting this. My husband and I are caring for our children and for our parents. So the stress of having these two things, these two really big agendas of care, it puts a strain on everything else. I don't see him, he doesn't see me, we don't talk, we're just running from one thing to the other. How to deal with that? So what is the minimum that we can do? We have coffee, and sometimes it's 15 minutes, but we make sure that we do listen to each other. We listen to each other. How can I make it true in the absolutely the smallest time? Have those 15 minutes coffee with the husband. Do those push-ups, drink that water, write that, blog post. Do that tiny action that will bridge the gap. And do it repeatedly, consistently, so that it becomes a habit. And in the world of habits, in the world of consistency, I need to remark to you that the environment is fundamental. So look for sisterhood. Surround yourself with women. Women are the most powerful supporters of women. I can tell you, when I was in this transition from corporate to entrepreneurship, from bachelorette to married woman, my best friends were women. And you know something, they continue being the very same friends. The ones who I had then were the same ones that I'm having now. And we have been going through other transitions, and we have been growing together. So these are the 3 steps. The 3 steps are look at your past with courage, without being judgmental, with a lot of appreciation, like if you were a scientist looking, researching, where is the gold in the past that will help you to learn and to grow and to be more yourself in the next chapter. Number 2, what's the vision? What's the vision of the future, where you're going? And number 3, start closing the gap by tiny, consistent actions. And, maybe it's a bonus point, or maybe it's part of the 3rd one. Surround yourself with people who want the best for you. People who want the best for you. And especially for women, I strongly recommend that you surround yourself with other women. So this is a good time to like the video. You have made it all the way here. It's a good time to like the video. And I need to invite the ladies who feel called by this, who feel inspired, and they say, hey, this is me. I want to take this to the next level. You're in the right place. This is what I do. I help women who are feeling out of sync and they are longing to build from the inside out a life that is not just a job, but a life that feels luscious, expansive, exquisite, encompassing every single area of their life. That means breaking the patterns and the identity, the outdated identity that we thought we were, and start walking really like goddesses. I call it divine feminine living. Isn't that so luscious, so exciting? Let's bloom together. Come and listen to my masterclass at bloomwithblanca.com. bloomwithblanca.com. If you want to continue binge watching my videos, you are welcome. Here is a playlist for you on everything that you need to do or to know, more resources to build a life that feels exquisite and luscious to your soul. Have a wonderful day.